I seem like I ramble a lot about movies on this podcast.
It's probably just because it's something you're interested in.
I mean,
I
I am.
used, I mean, I don't love movies as much as I used to.
Yeah.
Like, I still like movies, but like because I like good stories. Um, but yeah, when I was like a preteen slash teenager, I was a huge movie buff. Like, I watched movies all the time. But as I've gotten older, I've kind of lost my passion of movie, just sitting down watching movies all the time. I almost would prefer to watch a show actually over a movie now. So
Welcome to Barf City, episode 24, I believe.
yeah, I was actually just thinking that. I'm like, what episode is
Uh,
this? Is this 24? I think this 24.
yeah, I believe so.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, episode 24. I'm Eric.
I'm Kevin. And we have a wonderful episode for you today.
Oh,
Right?
dude.
I'm just being silly.
Uh,
We always have a wonderful episode, don't
I mean, at least I'd hope.
we? Yeah. That's what everybody online tells me. They're always like, oh, every episode is wonderful. I'm like, I
Uh-huh.
know, right? Of course, all those are DMs, though. So.
Really.
Yeah, they're always sliding in my DMs. But that's all
So
right.
full of yourself
I'm
today,
u-
aren't you?
I'm I'm used to the attention, so it's okay.
Man, I forgot why. I remember just now why I don't typically use my laptop
Why?
anymore.
Yeah.
Like, for some reason, and if anybody that is listening to it, then you can know, and if I catch your comment. So there's games I've deleted on here.
Yeah.
I mean, I've completely went through the files and can't find them, but they still, for some reason, keep trying to start up.
That's weird. Did you
Yeah.
buy them? Where'd you buy? Did you buy them through Steam or buy
No,
them?
they're just free things you can download, like
Huh.
IMVU.
Yeah.
Where's the Old Republic? And you just go to the websites they have that you download them off of. They're not on like Steam or anything.
Yeah. Hmm.
But I went through and completely uninstalled them, and maybe I have to completely re-go through my laptop. And just in here getting rid of pop up after pop up,
Wow.
and because they're actually actual trustworthy sites, my antivirus don't pick them up as anything, so they just
Yeah.
come through.
Yeah.
So how's your weekend going?
Uh, Fairly busy. More busy than most weekends.
Yeah.
I was celebrating his birthday was Friday, but I didn't see him until yesterday, so we
Yeah.
were celebrating his birthday this weekend. So, and I just made cake. So,
Okay.
but yeah, we were. Yep, it's been exciting. I'm looking at my living room. It's a mess, but that's okay.
Hmm. So switching to my laptop after being on the phone, like I did, I noticed that Zoom has a cool little feature. If I sign in on my phone and then I grab my laptop too little late, or
Yeah,
whatever, my laptop's being slow or whatever, I actually in the app itself, Zoom, I can hit switch, and it ended it off my phone and switched me onto the laptop.
huh? That's
Yeah, that's
interesting.
actually pretty cool.
I've
Yeah, I thought
never
that
done
was
it
pretty
on
cool.
anything but my laptop, so I didn't know. Yeah.
Yeah.
Your voice sounds so different on your laptop.
Well, I also have my higher tier headset that I use for gaming in right now. So
Yeah, that probably helps too. I think
yeah,
my mic is like okay, uh, but I do need a better one eventually, and I'm gonna work on that. So
yeah. I need to start remembering to stop being lazy and getting the laptop out and doing it before we start because gotta you gotta increase the quality somewhere. You know what I mean?
yeah, I would
Heck,
just
soon I might be buying me a little fancy mic because they're I found one that's really good for $20.
yeah. Yeah, you can find some actually pretty decent dynamic microphones out there for really not
Mm-hmm.
too much. So like I said, if I could find my 4-track recorder, that alone would make a big difference for me. But I would, like I
Yeah.
said, in order for that to work, I would probably need to be in a spot where I can like have a bit better room quality, if that makes sense. Because I think my room is part of the problem. And but I work, like I said, I'm working on all that. I'm working on it. I'm trying to get crap moved out of here so I can slowly kind of work on improving some areas. But anyway, that's all in the future then.
Yeah. Yeah, I want to get like a better little microphone and a little more comfortable headsets to go with it. Because
Yeah.
the ones I got now, after a while, they've been finally like starting to hurt my ears.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm.
All headphones actually hurt not my ears, but they kind of hurt my the side, my head, the sides of them, like my temples and stuff like that. After a while,
Yeah, they
if I
don't hurt
wear,
my.
but I have to wear them for a really, really long time though
Yeah.
for that to happen.
Well, I mean, they don't hurt the side of my temple. It's like when it hurts, it's like the like rubs on the back part of my ear after a while.
Yeah,
So maybe I just need to get bigger headphones that give my ears more room. Because I don't have big ears, but I have long ears.
yeah, like corn.
Yeah. Yeah, sure. That joke. Lovely. Also, with this, I can rapidly mute myself with the headphone instead of having like reach down, grab hit my foot. Yeah, we're so talkative today, right now. We totally have planned. This
Sorry,
is always.
I'm trying to talk and eat at the same time. So
Why, why didn't you eat before we started?
I thought I could kill two birds with one stone.
Oh,
You'd be surprised how much stuff I try to do while we do the podcast. Like I've worked on my game before many times.
mm.
I'm like, oh yeah, I need to work on this. So I'll be sitting there working on it while we're doing the
So
podcast.
that explains why I
Honestly,
lead the podcast so much.
honestly, if I could get away with it, I would sit there and watch like YouTube or watch shows or something. I would, but I wouldn't be able to do that because then I couldn't listen to that and you at the same time.
Yeah.
But if there was some way I could do that, I probably would. Mm.
I mean, the only time I think like we could do something like that is if like we were actively watching something to review it live.
Oh yeah, right. If we were watching it together and then like we were reacting to it, yeah,
Yeah. You wouldn't want to have to watch something and carry on a conversation.
yeah. I'm not sure if I would ever want to do anything like that. The idea of just sitting there commenting on something doesn't
Mm.
sound, I don't know, doesn't sound exciting to me. So,
Like I would do it just because I mean it's something I naturally do, especially if it's a movie I haven't watched yet
yeah,
or whatever, or video I haven't watched. So it's like killing two birds with one stone, of course, you can have
yeah,
fun. I naturally, and you can ask Jay, like, and I think, and my wife, I think start getting a little annoyed because I'll catch something in a movie, whether it be like a Marvel movie, a DC movie, or whatever, and I'll have to pause and be like, that's actually not how that would work, right?
you're one of those people. Yeah,
Well, it's more when it's like plainly just like directly obvious.
yeah,
Like it's something like, okay, you can distend belief or whatever.
yeah,
Suspend belief.
yeah,
And it's just like, okay, I can see where they're going and whatever. It's a superhero thing or blah blah blah, whatever I'm watching. But when it's something that is like, it's primarily like when it's very much a science part of a movie, like and the scientist is doing something in their movie, and I
Yeah.
notice that's not actual science. I'm like, hmm.
One thing that
And then,
gets on my nerves, I will notice in like, and it's more they're more guilty about it in older movies, like movies like from the '80s and stuff. They always have like some nerd or something, on the science. Sometimes they're on like part of some science department or something that works for the government. Sometimes they're just a freaking nerd that lives like in the basement or whatever, and they always just know everything about everything, and
yeah,
they're able to fix like any computer problem or phone problem or make something happen in like 5 seconds. And I'm like, that doesn't work that way. Not even close to working that way. And I was like, but back in those days, they could kind of get away with that a little bit because there were so many people that probably didn't realize that. So
they didn't even know that's how it worked.
yeah, they were like, oh yeah, makes sense to me in their head. But I was like, yeah, that doesn't work that way.
Yeah, a lot of people back then were probably like, "Oh, that person would probably have to be extremely like smart, intelligent person."
Yeah, like, oh, he knows what he's talking about. Like, no, he doesn't.
Yeah, a lot of times no, they don't. Like I can hold back that kind of stuff in like a straight action movie. If it's a straight action movie, I'm just gonna watch it. I'm not gonna
Yeah.
analyze it.
Luckily, those only happen in like a couple of scenes and then they move on. So I'm like, well, that was stupid, but anyway, we're moving on. So,
Yeah.
hmm.
Well, it's like, or like I'll see something. I'm like, I know what the writers are doing, but this whole situation could have been ended like 20 scenes ago.
Yeah.
It's
Oh,
like
there's
we've been
many,
watching.
there's many movies that you do that. It's like, this whole thing could have been prevented if they would have just done it like this instead. Like, you can't
Yeah,
think of it that way. You have to just, I'm like,
yeah.
I understand. I'm just saying. Hmm.
And it's people, and then to me it doesn't make the movie bad. It's just I have fun with it.
Right. You just like to poke fun at that stuff. Yeah.
Yeah. So like I'll see something like we were watching part one and part two of the Crisis on Infinite Earth
Hmm.
animated movies that are coming out right now.
Yeah.
And because we're just getting we now gotta wait on part three, which is the final part. But I was like, I've made a comment about, if they sent every Green Lantern throughout the entire infinite multiverse to throw their constructs at the uh, antimatter, it would actually just eventually destroy the antimatter wall. And Jay made the comment that, he's like, no, because antimatter eats regular matter. And I was like, because the thing is, antimatter is actually real. We do have an antimatter.
Yeah.
And well, the problem is what really is going on is that when antimatter and matter collide, they blow up. So if you're looking at like the antimatter wave in DC Comics, it means that's so much antimatter that it's overthrowing the amount of matter in the universe, deteriorating all the matter. So, and I went to the bathroom. I paused and went to the bathroom, and I was reading on it, double checking my phone. And I walked out. I was like, "Yes, I'm smarter than the scientists in DC." Jay's like, "What?" Like, yeah, I was like, because it was like the reason the universe exists and why their theory is there's more matter than there is antimatter. So therefore, there's not enough antimatter to destroy the matter that exists in the universe.
Yeah.
So if hard light constructs, which are made of matter, if you had every single lantern from every single lantern corps throughout the infinite multiverse show up and just throw their biggest light constructs at the wall, it would actually destroy. If they would be actually able to deteriorate the antimatter wall by overloading it with matter.
Yeah.
They would just have to know exactly how much matter to use on it. So it's like I just solved the crisis on Infinite Earths. But that's the kind of thing I like to do. And I think it slightly annoys Jay and my wife,
Yeah.
but they
Yeah.
still
I
watch movies
mean,
with me. So
Yeah, I mean, like I said, for me, it would really just depend on the kind of stuff that's being picked on. The only thing that I always just have to tell people to, suspend their belief on is like anytime in an action movie, like where they're doing like unbelievable action, like where they're doing this overly exaggerated, doing something that would be essentially physically impossible. And I'm like, you have to understand it's an action movie. You have to suspend your belief a little bit. But yeah, the kind of stuff you're talking about, yeah, I was like that can be kind of fun to poke at. And
Yeah, like I said, action movies I don't do it too because I'm like, except for martial arts movies.
I don't know if I've seen enough martial arts movies to really be able to pick on things,
Well, it's
but I've
from the
I've
fact
seen
that,
a handful of them. Yeah,
I mean, it stems from the fact that I've done mixed martial arts and stuff,
yeah,
and I'm like, I it irks me to death that the most time you see martial arts in movies and show, they're doing the most flashiest martial arts.
right. Well, I mean, that's done on purpose. Yeah, yeah,
Well, it is done on purpose because it's what picks up on camera the best.
yeah.
But
And well,
it
it's
irks me
also more
because,
entertaining that way
well, like
because they're
you'll
trying
see,
to entertain an audience. Yeah.
well,
Mhm.
I mean, it's still entertaining. If somebody's coming to watch a martial arts movie or a fighting movie,
Yeah.
they come there to watch someone get the shit beat out of them. They didn't come there to watch the martial arts for the most
Yeah.
part. They just want to see someone get the shit beat out of them.
Yeah.
While the person doing it goes, "Hiya!" That's the average martial arts movie lover for the most part. Like, now, if it's about a specific martial arts,
Excuse
that's
me.
different to me.
I swear, I don't know why every time I freaking start this podcast, I start burping up a freaking storm. Anyway, keep going. So
Podcasts
annoying.
make you bubbly.
I know there's something about it. I won't do it. Like I kept thinking, I was like, well, maybe it's because I'm talking, but I'll be sitting there talking to someone else and I don't do it. But it's just like for some reason, every time I get on here, I start freaking. But anyway, keep going. I'll shut up.
Yeah, it's fine. I'm not gonna keep. I'm not. I seem like I ramble a lot about movies on this podcast.
It's probably just because it's something you're interested in.
I mean,
I
I am.
used I mean, I don't love movies as much as I used to.
Yeah.
Like, I still like movies, but like because I like good stories. But yeah, when I was like a preteen/teenager, I was a huge movie buff. Like, I watched movies all the time. But as I've gotten older, I've kind of lost my passion of movie. Just sitting down watching movies all the time. I almost would prefer to watch a show actually over a movie now. So, in all
I mean, I
honesty,
would too.
yeah,
Depends on. I mean, depending on the type of show.
yeah,
Because like uh, horror shows are one thing that I don't really like to watch that
yeah.
much.
But some things do just make better movies, and some things just make better shows, or at least for me anyway. So,
I mean, that's the case, and like for me, anything that was once a book was a book first. To me, actually, will make a better TV series
mhm.
than a movie a lot of times.
Yeah, I can
Because
see
in a
that.
TV show, you can do each episode by the chapters,
Yeah,
or a couple chapters, you can get your cliffhangers or whatever where you want them.
right.
So a lot of times to me, it'd make a better show. There are some exceptions, like, of course, Harry Potter was pretty good.
Yeah,
Uh, but honestly, I mean, Twilight was pretty faithful to the books, but those two are outliers because the actual authors were on set.
yeah,
Whereas stuff like, the Percy Jackson movies or Aragon and a few of those that failed because the directors just did what the hell they wanted and didn't even care about the source materials.
yeah,
Where they cut so much of the shit that was like really important out because they were like, well, it's just too much. So
Yeah.
for me, you make it a TV show because a lot of those things you can do on a low budget. You don't need a very the highest of budgets to do a lot of those effects.
Right.
And if anybody wants to call me, oh, you got all the CGI. So a lot of TikTokers have done just as good making Harry Potter spells with TikTok. Okay, I don't want to hear it. You can watch people do all kinds of effects on their mobile phone or just their little laptop.
Yeah.
So I don't want to hear it. You can make a pretty compelling, good CGI show. Now there are limits to a show, to the CGI when it comes to like big time stuff. Like that's the thing where like the Flash, the Arrowverse kind of, when they get to like doing the Flash and stuff like that, kind of had their issues because there was so much that was needed to be CGI. All the speed fights and the
Yeah.
character. So they had to pick and choose where they could put their budget. And something like that, you'd want a higher budget for a show. But for CGI effects, those are cheaper than a full CGI guy running and animated. And there are layers to that. There are some expensive parts to CGI, but heck, look at Vampire Diaries. I mean, they did pretty great CGI for the simplest stuff that they did.
Yeah.
I mean, it looked pretty good.
I've never seen Vampire Diaries, but yeah, I believe you.
Yeah. Well, in a show like Vampire Diaries or Supernatural or like those kind of shows or kind of worlds, you can take the minuscule amount of CGI that would needed
Yeah.
because you don't have to do a lot of big CGI stuff. There's a lot of things you can do with practical effects for that,
Yeah.
which practical effects are cheaper than CGI.
Yeah.
So, and Harry Potter, I mean, the only thing that needed to be CGI would be, maybe Hedwig flying around or on the brooms. But that didn't even really need to be much CGI, just the background CGI. A lot of that can be doing with stunt work. And of course, all the spells. Which a lot of those could be done with practicals, because like the Lumos, where it just
Yeah.
lights the tip of the wand, they can just put a bigger, really bright light, and then just edit it and make it look brighter.
Yeah. Well, theoretically, pretty much anything can be done with practical effects. It's just kind of time consuming depending on what they're trying to do. That's one reason why they always shoot for CGI nowadays, because there's so many things they can just be like, well, we can deal with that in post production with CGI,
Yeah.
But when you have practical effects, you're constantly, it's like the actors are having to wait around for this thing to be crafted and being done just right, and yada yada yada, and the careful lighting of everything. So
Yeah. But my
but I
thing
will,
on,
practical effects to me age so much better. Like when I
yeah.
see older movies with practical effects, that they still, most of them still look really good, especially if they
Well,
were
it's
done
like
really well.
what is the like one of the number one like loved practical effects was a little bit of CGI, even for its time. What CGI
Yeah.
was like the transformation in American Werewolf in London in the 80s.
Oh, I never seen it.
They just watch the transformation scene. That's all you gotta do.
Yeah.
There's so much effects together, and done it so well. Like I looked at a still image of him mid transformation, and it looked creepy as fuck.
Yeah.
You know, and I'm like, this kind of holds up. Give it a little gloss of some shine and make it a little, the color a little bit more poppy, and it would look close to like a low, well, they'd say a B-rated movie today.
Yeah.
And that's something from the 80s. I mean, heck, you watch Jurassic Park.
Yeah.
That holds up. You can still watch the old Jurassic Park and it still look great.
Yeah. Well, some of those dinosaurs, they used animatronics, so that's why they still look good.
Yeah. That's part of being practical. You use
Nowadays,
things that are
you know,
realistic.
just like with Jurassic World, you know, nowadays everything's all they just use CGI for all of it because it's just easier.
Well, no, they actually have some. They have quite a few animatronics for the Jurassic World.
Really? I don't
Yeah.
remember seeing any. It all looked like CGI to me.
The scene where where Rexy, the other dinosaurs, when they're like the transport containers, when they were
Uh,
trying to get them off the island and stuff.
been a really long time since I've seen that movie, but
Uh, they actually had an actual animatronic in there that they could touch.
hmm,
Like, also, me and Jay talked about like, you look at like Marvel going so CGI, it kind of irritates me because like one of the cool things about like with Iron Man is his suits used to be practical. He could wear the actual suit, which made cool scenes like when he was sitting on the couch next to the suit prop.
yeah,
And it looked good because, it was an actual prop. It was, you couldn't do that as well with the CGI stuff.
yeah.
Oh, cool. Now I can actually see the timer on the Zoom meetings.
Oh, on your laptop?
Yeah, I couldn't do it on my phone.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That's actually kind of helpful.
Yeah, because unlike you, I actually pay attention to the
I do pay
conversation and
attention.
then,
It's just it's
mm-hmm.
hard for me to sometimes tell you when it's a good time to like stop, like, you know, just start wrapping up the conversation. So, and then sometimes I try to give you a little heads up, and then you wrap it up in like 2 seconds, and you're like, okay, I'll just carry it over to the next one. And I'm like, you could have just like waited a little bit.
No, it just depends on like, well, sometimes you catch me at a point, like especially if I'm reading something, you'll catch me at the point I just done with that paragraph.
Yeah.
So I'm like,
Well,
that's a
it
good
sounds like
stop.
you're like it's still you cut yourself off literally, and then when you
Yeah.
continue, you're not continuing exactly what you were saying. So, because I mean, it's been like several minutes, and so I was like, well, I'm trying to always figure out a good time to like cut you off and or to give you a heads up, like, hey, we're getting low on time, and but you're just like, okay, well, just and then I'm like, well, I didn't mean like literally this second.
Eh, well, I'm sorry I'm so difficult to work with.
Well, you're just gonna have to get better. That's all there is.
So, did you contact your mom today for Mother's Day?
Contact.
Have call her, text her, whatever, get in contact with.
Yes, I did. Why are you asking me that?
I mean, I've asked all my friends on Xbox, like, hey, did you make sure to tell your mom Happy Mother's Day today?
Oh,
I've already
okay.
done my rounds. Uh,
Did your rounds.
yep. I called. Well, the only one I didn't get to talk to is my sister, and it's because she didn't answer the phone, so that's her fault.
Oh, I only tell my own mom. I don't go around telling all the moms. I know Happy Mother's Day. I don't do all that.
Oh, I did.
I was
Like I
like, that's
told
up to
my
your
mom.
children to tell you Happy Mother's Day is the way I see it. So,
Hmm, like I told my mom, try to call my sister, she didn't answer.
yeah.
And then contacted my mother-in-law, we contacted my wife's grandmother. Even told her aunt Happy Mother's Day because her aunt showed up at her mom's house when we were on the phone with her. And then I got on Xbox, and when my friend got on, I told her Happy Mother's Day because she's a mom.
Wow, you're just taking care of everybody. You're
Yeah,
you're
just
you're
doing my
making you're carrying the all the Mother's Day wishes for all their kids.
yep,
Just in
yep, yep.
case your kids didn't tell you, I'll tell you Happy Mother's Day.
Yeah, just in case your kids don't appreciate you being a mom.
Yeah,
I appreciate the fact that you went through all the shit you went through to bring a kid in there.
yeah. But no, I do not do that. I don't. I just tell my own mom Happy Mother's Day.
Huh?
I'm not even very good at telling people Happy Birthday when their birthday comes up. I'm like, oh crap, yeah, I forgot it
You
was
didn't
your
even tell
birthday.
me happy birthday.
I don't know when your birthday is.
I literally like counted down my birthday.
You did?
Yeah,
I don't remember that.
I counted it down. I did it to my 30th and my 31st,
Oh, I don't remember
just for
that at
shits and
all.
giggles.
Yeah, I don't remember
Ugh.
that.
See what I got to work with, people?
I'm not very good with birthdays. So I remember like key people in my life's birthdays and then like beyond like and even some of my like people like I know really well, even their birthday I struggle with. I'm like, when is their birthday again? I don't
You know,
remember.
I'm kind of hurt because I'm not a key person. Damn.
I mean
Yeah, I know what you meant.
I'm mostly referring to family members, but I do remember
Yeah.
some of my friends' birthdays, but it's only usually if they are have a birthday that just sticks out, like the actual birthday itself sticks out to me for some reason.
Yeah. The
Because
sad
there's
thing
some
is,
people
like,
like I don't ever even talk to hardly anymore, but yet I still remember their birthday because their birthday just for some reason sticks out to me.
yeah, I know how that goes because, like, there's sometimes I have to, like, double check what my mom, my sisters, and stuff's my brother's birthdays are.
Yeah,
And but Jay's, you can ask him his birthday, and I instantly could tell you because his birthday is such a weird is such a weird day.
yeah.
You know,
I struggle to remember my sister's birthday sometimes because not my older sister, but my oldest sister, because it's like right in the middle of summer, and I'm like, when is that day? I
yeah,
always get a little confused. Every year I send a text, I'm like, I really hope today's her birthday because if it's not, I'm sending her a text that's not on her birthday. Happy birthday. And I'm gonna look like an idiot. So,
I just utilize Facebook a lot
oh,
with
well, I don't
that.
have Facebook.
Yeah, well, Facebook has everyone that's in your friends, of course, their birthdays, if they
Yeah,
put it in there.
yeah.
So I utilize that a lot.
Some people's birthday, I have to save it on my calendar on my phone because otherwise, if I wouldn't remember it. So,
Yeah, I mean, I don't.
sometimes the issue is we're just remembering what day it is. I know when their birthday is. It's just I didn't realize it was that day. You know, when I woke up that day, I didn't know that it was that day. So,
Yeah. Well,
but with
my
my
thing is like I will remember the month before I'll
yeah,
remember the day.
yeah. With
And
my
that could
job, I
be,
don't have that as much of a problem anymore because I often am usually, I'll literally write down the day of the week like a million times. And
yeah.
but with other jobs in the past, yeah, where I never really have to think about what day it is. Like, yeah, that's happened to me many times. I'm like, oh crap, it was their birthday like a few days ago, and I never even told them happy birthday. So,
Hmm. Yeah. I don't know. I don't tend to worry about giving birthday wishes as much
yeah,
unless it's like, my nieces and nephews a lot of times. Of course, of course, my wife,
yeah, always get your spouse. Yep, that's the number one.
but like for my family, once you get to a certain age, most people, it's birthdays are kind of, yeah. And then until you reach a certain age, and then it's like, oh yeah, birthdays are special again because now you're 50s, 60s.
Yeah,
But like between the ages of like 18 and 60-ish, we don't tend to care as much.
no, I still celebrated my birthday pretty thoroughly until I was like, I would say about 22 was my last year where I was kind of like done after that. Once I my
Well,
for my 23rd birthday, I didn't really do anything or really care about it. So
we didn't celebrate my 19th or my 20th, but we celebrate. Technically, we didn't really get to truly. Sorry, mom, if you listen to this because it actually did hurt me. I guess. Well, you know what? I'll wait until the next part because we're at a minute. But yeah, so yeah, again, sorry to my mom if she listens to this, but so my 21st, typically you celebrate a person's 21st, right?
yeah, yeah, that's usually one of the big ones.
Yeah, because now they're officially a legally 100% an adult. They can smoke, they can drink, they can do everything. And because my younger sister got, my younger stepsister got, I can't remember, it was a really great grade on a big test or something. I can't freaking remember 100%. They made us split my birthday for a celebration for her and me.
Oh, shared your birthday with that celebration.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, that's
And
not
I'm
too bad.
like, well, that pisses me off
Yeah.
because, of course, she's the younger one. She won out on what she wanted to do, where she wanted to eat and this and that. I didn't even drink on my 21st birthday.
Oh, really? Yeah. I didn't drink on
Yeah.
mine, but I'm not, also not really a drinker. So,
Yeah. I mean, I wasn't as bad of a drinker as I was in like, I was, 18, 19, and 20.
yeah. I
Like,
mean, I
well,
have
the
nothing
beginning part of
against
me in 20.
drinking if you want to, but yeah, it's just not my thing. So,
Because by the time when I hit about, midway in my 20, midway through 20,
yeah.
I started slowing down on alcohol because it started becoming less fun to me the closer I got to 21.
So you were doing it, drinking illegally, and then when it became closer to actually being legal, then you were like, "Yeah, I think I'm going to
Not
calm
as
down on
fun.
this now. It's not as fun
Yeah.
now that I can do it legally." Yeah,
Yeah. It wasn't as fun. I mean, yeah, I still went to parties and clubs or whatever,
yeah,
bars, and had fun with my friends. But I'm like, the alcohol part just it ain't hitting the same. It still tastes good. It's just what I like. It's, and if you're underage, under the legal drinking age, and you're listening to this, do not copy me, please.
yeah.
Please. Please do not copy me. I am not a good role model. I will never pretend to be one. I can give decent advice, potentially, if you have asked. My friends, I won't give strangers advice. Don't ask me. Um, but I'm not a good role model, especially then. But it was kind of one of those things like if a cop shows up at the field party we were at, you know, and bust us, you gotta run
Yeah,
or get busted.
yeah.
So it was more of a risk. Or drinking at our buddy's house, underage. If my parents caught me drinking or whatever, blah 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 blah. It was just a whole. It was the aspect of potentially getting caught in trouble that made it more exciting, kind of thing. Without the, because like I've never been a big drinking driver. I don't drink and drive. I never did. I I mean, I might go walking while drunk, but that's the only public intoxication thing. But for me, if I was walking drunk, even when I came drinking age, it's whatever. I'm on feet, but I would never get in the car.
Right.
Anybody who drinks and drive, I don't care if whoever's listening to this, you've done it, you're a fucking idiot. Straight to the point, you're a fucking idiot. If you're gonna drink, either have a DD or put your keys somewhere and walk.
Or you got an Uber or something. Yeah,
Or get an Uber, yeah.
yeah.
Get an Uber to the bar and Uber home. Hell, I've woken up in the back of the bar in an alleyway. Woke up sober, walked out, found my keys in my truck, got in my truck, and went home. Hangover as fuck, but hungover as fuck. But I actually, my truck had a way to break into it that I couldn't do sober. And so I would leave my keys in my glove box. I would lock it in my glove box. Now to have the glove box, glove box key that I had, because I had an older truck that had an actual locking glove box,
Yeah.
and I'd have that in my wallet. So even if somebody broke in my truck, they'd have to hotwire it to take it, but no one was going to take an old beat up truck. I mean, so I was
Man,
open.
you'd be surprised.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But so I'd have to break into my truck, unlock the glove box, get the key out. There's been
Hmm.
times, I would hit a bar and I'd walk out and I guess I attempted to break into my truck, and I guess I decided I was too fucking drunk and too tired and just passed out in my bed of my truck.
I was actually literally just thinking that. I'm like, well, you could always take a nap in the bed of your truck.
Yeah, most of the time I was in the bed of my truck. A couple times I woke up in a weird place. But that's only when I went to drink by myself, which I rarely did. It's depressing to drink by yourself.
I would imagine so. I don't even know what that would even feel like.
Like if I was to drink by myself, it was because I went to the bar, either hoping to make a new friend, drink some kind of sorrows away, which is not healthy, or definitely not healthy,
Oh, that's not
find a
healthy.
one night stand.
I guess I should stop doing that.
What? Drinking
Going
your
to the bar.
sorrows?
Yeah, drink my sorrows away.
You don't even drink.
Well, I mean, yeah, not regularly, no.
Man, I would love to see you drunk one day.
Well, yeah, I've never been drunk before, so
Man, I can make you some drinks. You wouldn't even think we're alcoholic. And next thing you know, you fuck.
yeah, probably not a good idea.
Ugh. But yeah, on the birthday thing, like I didn't have like so after my 21st birthday, which wasn't a really big celebration thing because of course I had to share it with my sister.
Yeah,
Yeah, I don't remember actually celebrating a birthday. Like now, my wife's family, they're big about holidays, birthdays. They're really
yeah.
big about that.
It does kind of depend on the family. Some families go all out for birthdays, and then some just keep things casual. They just kind of chill at home, and and
Yeah,
like,
most of the time it's just a happy birthday, or
yeah,
if I want a
might
cake, my mom sometimes would make a cake.
right, like might make a cake or something, and then just open up a couple presents, and then you just sit there for hang out for a little bit. Nothing major. So, but
Oh,
then you got
we
some
stopped doing
families.
presents.
Yeah, some families go all stop doing presents.
Yeah, which has
Mm,
been weird to me lately. So, in the past few years, my mom, and of course now my mother-in-law, part of me is wondering if it's because of my mother-in-law and that family being big on giving presents and stuff. My mother has actually started like either sending me money to get some jeans or something I need.
yeah,
So it's technically a present or whatever. Uh, but I'm wondering if that's been, kind of a thing because my mother-in-law does that. But she's trying to
yeah.
compete with my mother-in-law.
Yeah, I have no idea. So,
I find it funny because like I know it's a thing that happens where the mom, if the mother-in-law's cool as hell, will get like standoffish because it's her actual kid. But I'm like, it's entertaining to me. I don't know why that happens,
hmm,
and it might not be that. It just feels like that because the timing. And it could be my mom's just one of those things. You get older in life and you just start appreciating things, twice as much. You know what I mean?
yeah.
Yeah, we'll get there. We got another like 20 years.
Oh, my leg.
Well, hell, you're you're about middle age now, aren't you?
Don't remind me.
Yeah, that dawned on me yesterday when I was up there helping Jerry, making sure how to his clock in stuff. Why it was figuring out what was messed up.
Yeah,
Like, man, by the technical calculation of math that people have, the average person lives between 60 and 70.
yeah,
So mathematically, that would put your middle age closer to around 35.
right.
Like, God, I literally just have 4 more years and I'm technically middle aged.
Yep.
I don't like the sound of that.
Well, I don't feel middle aged, but that's why I just don't like to be reminded of my age. So as
Well,
long
you're
as I'm not
also,
reminded of my age, I usually feel fine about it. So,
you have like that you built better is that you get in your 30s and you started treating your body a little bit better.
Yeah.
Like I'm trying to follow your lead on that, and I've been taking vitamins and shit.
Oh, good. Yeah.
Yeah, the shit you gotta do. I mean, you start young, you won't feel as bad when you get 30.
Yeah. I wish I would have started on some of that stuff years ago.
Oh, me
But
too.
I'm glad I started in my late 20s, early 30s though, because that way I'm hoping I'll continue to improve by the time I hit my late 30s. So,
Yeah,
but yeah.
never know. You might be one of those old men that's like we see around town jogging all day long. Have you seen some of those guys? They're freaking jacked for old men.
Yeah. Well, I guess when you take care of yourself real well.
Yeah,
I
I'm
can't
just
I can't see myself as being the jogging old man type, but hopefully I can, you know, still move around well when I'm at, older age. So that's just what I don't want when I'm old. Because see, once I eventually hit a certain age, I'm not going to really care nearly as much about my looks and stuff. I'm going to really care more about my motor skills and stuff like that. I'm like, can I move around decently? Can I still take care of myself? Can I still do it?
yeah,
That's going to be the kind of stuff I care about. So, because I don't want to
yeah,
rely on anybody to take care of me. So I absolutely despise the idea of that. So,
yeah. I'm a little bit different because, of course, I have major back damage and stuff
yeah.
from being stupid when I was younger. Um, so for me, it's gonna really now I've started looking at myself and I'm like, man, I really fucked up when I got this job and just didn't do shit except for go to work and come home.
Yeah.
Uh, so I'm trying now work on getting my body healthier and dropping the weight and stuff and get back to feeling good again fully. Because I've felt more mentally better
Hmm.
than I have in a while. Uh, but it's just been more the physical. So I got to work on the physical, and that's going to be a constant thing I'm going to have to stick with if I want to stay good even in my older years. Because I don't know when I get in my 50s or 60s how much of that damage to my back and stuff is going to really rear its ugly head because I
Yeah.
might deteriorate because of that. Also, doesn't help that I'm 6'4" and I'm a pretty big guy. So I have a lot of potential for bone deterioration or at least joint deterioration. So you'll be able to just like sit back and take your vitamins, stay a little healthy, move and stuff. I'm over here gonna have to like actually work out in my old age if I want to say doing good. You're kind of lucky.
I don't know about that. I think I just, uh, yeah, we don't
You
have to
just
get
don't have
into
as
all
many
that.
miles on you.
Yeah. I mean, I was getting pretty bad in my late 20s there for a while, but admittedly, I think my, trying to find the right word for it. Mm, Uh, I don't really know how to describe it, but like me just being overly paranoid about what people think about me and stuff like that, I think is sort of what kind of got me on track on wanting to, you know, get back on. I wish I could think of the word, but it's just like when someone's thinks cares too much about what others think about them, I guess. So
Uh,
because I didn't like the idea. Like I said, I don't like the idea of people taking care of me. So like even somebody I know. So I just wouldn't like that. So because it would make me feel self conscious. That's the word I'm looking for. It would make me feel self conscious. I was just like, yeah. So I was like, I something's got to change. So that's kind of
Yeah.
what got it. So that's kind of what got it started. So I just refused to accept that. So I was like, I'm either going to, make it to where this is never going to happen, or I'm going to like fight as hard as I can to try to avoid it happening, one or the other. So,
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know what the word is. I'd have to actually look it up.
yeah. Admittedly, I probably care way too much about, but sometimes that does have its benefits. So, like I said, in that one particular situation, I think it kind of actually helped me out. So,
Self-conscious?
yeah, self-conscious, that was what I was looking for. But yeah, in a way, I think that kind of helped me out in that one situation. But then in other situations, it kind of gets me, it kind of wears down on me, because then it kind of easily makes me feel down, or sometimes even depressed, because I'm constantly like paranoid about what other people think about me.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. I was getting there at one point. Like, started to become more. Because I also have naturally, I have social anxiety. I don't like being around a lot of people.
yeah, well, I don't either, but yeah,
So, when I started gaining weight, and then, of course, having a receding hairline at a younger age
yeah.
didn't help.
Oh, I wouldn't have reacted to that very well at all if that would have happened to me. I don't know how I would have, what I would have done, but I guess just worn a hat. I don't know. I honestly don't know. Mhm.
Yeah, but I got pretty quickly understood. Like, you know what? Most of the people in my life at that time are superficial, and they don't really matter. They were not really friends. They were just people I hung out with because that's who I was around.
Yeah,
And I just said, you know what? Fuck it. If people don't like me, they don't fucking like me. If they want to talk shit about me, cool.
yeah.
Kudos.
Oh yeah. When it comes to
It's
friendships, I definitely have that attitude. I'm like, look, if you don't like me, you don't like me. That's fine with me.
I'm
So
trying to
I
remember
just,
what.
I just want them to. Well, I guess I shouldn't probably say like if you don't like me, but like if you don't want to be friends with me, I'm fine with that. But I
Yeah,
actually still don't like even people that aren't friends with me. I still kind of secretly want them to like me. Like I said, that's where that self conscious thing kind of kicks
yeah.
in. So
Well, it's kind of in my head. Like I can't remember which actor it was. I think it was maybe it was Christian Bale. I can't remember.
no, I have no
But
idea.
in the interview he made the comment. And it was I think it went along the lines of like, if you have a problem with me, call me. If you don't have my number, you don't know me well enough to have a problem with.
Yeah, yeah, that's a good way of looking at it.
So it's the mindset. I've kind of gotten to that mindset of, yeah, if you have a problem with me, just let me know. And if you don't know how to get a hold of me, well, your problem, not mine.
Yeah. And for many situations, that is the case. Most of the time, they have a problem with someone, but most of the time, when you really like examine it, you realize the person that has the problem is the problem. I'm
Yeah.
like, you're the one that has the problem. The other person's not even causing this problem. This is all in your head. Yeah.
Yep.
Mm.
Good chunk of the time, if somebody has a
Yeah.
problem with you, it's their problem.
Yeah. It's like, and the person that they have the problem with, and most of the time doesn't even know about it, nor do they care. So,
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of one of those things. Like, I mean, yeah, if you have a problem and you tell me what the problem is, if it's something I can fix, I might fix it. It depends on if I actually like you or not. If I don't like you, I don't give a fuck. Uh, kind of a catch 22 of a way of being, but because we all should, theoretically, all should care about the other humans, but at the same time, if you care too much, you can get fucked
right.
up.
I mean, you can't please everybody. Yeah. So,
Yeah,
yeah.
I'm not a people pleaser.
No.
I'm also a big advocate, especially getting in my 30s, and hopefully I can, especially in my getting towards the later years of my life, can actively, have it in practice and get it down pat because I still struggle with it, and of course, I'm still young, ish. In the grand scheme of things, I'm still young.
Yeah. Oh yeah, you are.
Uh,
We both are. So it's
yeah,
just
we're
sometimes
still,
when I think about my age, I just don't feel that way.
yeah.
Yeah.
When you think about the
But
number, it
I
doesn't
know as
feel
I
that
get
way.
older, like as I get older, I know this age won't feel old to me. I'll be like, I wish I was still that young, you know.
Yeah, but kind of lived more of a life of don't outwardly be a dick, but give no thoughts to people who have an issue with who you are as a person. Because if who you are as a person doesn't harm anybody else, it just maybe rubs them the wrong way. That's their problem. They need to look inward and figure out their shit. Um, and try to if you feel stressed, don't worry about it because stress is fleeting. That thing that's stressing you out now will eventually be over, and it'll be a new thing to eventually come stress you out. So you just kind of stress is an infinite thing.
Yeah.
Don't ignore it, but don't actually let it stress you. And that's the thought process I've been trying to get myself to realize because I used to have a really bad, and I still somewhat do, but I had a bad tendency of the stupidest of things would set me the fuck off. Especially if the stupid thing was actually something extremely stupid. Like, I'm getting less road rage now because I'm just like, they're idiots. As long as they don't hit me, it's whatever. Let them be fucking stupid.
I don't know. Yeah, going back to the birthday thing, I would say, and for me personally, I mean, everybody, I'm sure, probably has different perspectives on what they would consider the like key birthday ages. But when growing up, like I always really looked forward to my 10th birthday because it felt like a big, hump for me. Like your felt like I was ending one part of my life and beginning another. I don't know why. I just felt that way. Like I said, it's probably different for everybody. So, and so the 10th birthday was a big one for me. But then when I got to my 13th birthday, of course, that's a big one for probably a lot of people. And then definitely my 16th birthday. My 16th birthday was probably my biggest birthday party I've ever had. That was the one where I actually had literally all my friends come over to my house. And I just, that year, I wanted to have a Halloween theme party because my birthday's so close to Halloween. And so we did. We actually went to like a graveyard and everything. And that was the year my mom decided it was, which I didn't even know about this. She didn't tell me. That was the year my mom decided to play a prank on me and all my friends, which I figured it out pretty quickly because I know how my mom is, my mom's sense of humor and
Yeah.
stuff. And so it's pretty much almost as soon as we got there, I knew something was up. And I just didn't know what. But they had no idea because they don't know my mom like I know her, obviously. And so we were pulling up to the graveyard it was like one out in the middle of friggin' nowhere too. And and supposedly it was supposed to be a haunted graveyard. And we were driving there because we were going to see if anything would happen. And um so when we got there, um she was like, she told us what the rules were, because every little ghost story always has its rules. It's kind of like the whole Bloody Mary thing, or
Yeah.
the whole there's certain things you're supposedly supposed to do or whatever. And so she said the rules were you're supposed to get out of your car, you park your car, and you got to lock your car and you walk away from it. And as you're walking away from your car, supposedly you're supposed to start seeing things. And so as we're walking away from the van, we see like this weird figure in a distance. And at this point, I was already suspicious that something was going on. I just, like I said, I just didn't know exactly what. So, and we look over in the distance, and I see over, and I was just, I didn't have my glasses on in the moment, and I didn't hardly. It was moving so slow that it looked like a white pole to me. I was just like, that looks like a pole, and I was just like, are you sure that's not a pole? But then when I saw the way my mom was overacting, she was going, "Oh, what is that? Oh my gosh, what is that?" She kept looking. I was like, "Okay, something's going on over here." I was like, "I don't know what." It was something's definitely going on. So I turned around. That's when I turned around and started looking around me, and I looked and I saw my sister. She was coming up dressed up in all this like Grim Reaper like makeup, and she was coming up sneaking up behind us, and I was like, "Oh, okay, this is a prank." So that's when I just stepped aside and just kind of. But they at this point, none of them had any idea anything was going on, and but my other sister was dressed up as the ghost, but she was moving so slowly. Like I said, with my glasses off, I sincerely thought she was a pole, and and but yeah, she scared the crap out of my friend. Like she snuck up behind him and he screamed like a girl too. It was hilarious. And but yeah, then but one of my friends like he got so scared he was one of the younger ones because he was actually my friend's little brother, but I was friends with him too. But he was one of the younger ones, so he was a little bit more scared than everybody else was. He was practically ripped the door handle off the van trying to get back in it. He was like, "Could you open up the van? Could you?" So, and but anyway, we got done with that little prank and we drove back to the house. And like I said, I had like a little Halloween themed cake and everything. It was a lot of fun because my mom's like really artistic and she decorated the cake and made it look really good. And I had Halloween themed everything. That year was the year we got the PlayStation 2 for my birthday. And both my sisters all agreed that if we instead of getting birthday presents that year, like traditionally, we would my mom would just buy us all three of us the PS2, and we would just give it all three basically just forfeit our birthday presents. And we all three agreed, and so that was the year. Technically, that was my PS2 birthday year where I had that one. So, but yeah, it was a good birthday. I have a lot of great memories with that one. But that's a key one. 16, 18 was a key one. Uh, 21 was a pretty key one for me. 22 for me was also a key one. And then, like I said, after that, that was really it. I kind of stopped celebrating my birthdays after that. So,
Yeah. I was going through some old stuff, and surprisingly, I don't know how, because of all the time, how much I've moved throughout my life. I've really lost a lot of stuff, toys or whatever.
yeah.
I found napkins and cups and plates from my 8th birthday.
Oh, dang.
I don't know where my mom put them and how they were moving with us for so many years.
Yeah.
And it was Pokemon themed.
Yeah.
Like, and also what makes that birthday so freaking memorable for so many years is I had this Ash Ketchum toy. It was him holding a Pokeball.
Yeah.
And me and my little cousin Logan for years fought over whose toy that actually was.
Oh, really?
He says it was his. I'm like, dude, I have pictures of it with the rest of the Pokemon stuff at my birthday. Had the
Yeah.
old Polaroid pictures of it. He's like, no, I put that on there. He's like, I
Yeah.
brought that because you were gonna have a Pokemon thing, and I brought that with. I'm like, no, that was part of my presents.
Yeah.
And we had argued so many years on who actually owned that toy.
Yeah. That sounds like a argument that kids or teenagers would have. Yeah.
Yeah, it was great. Uh, I'm trying to think of what other birthdays I actually remember. Like, I don't even remember many birthdays actually.
Yeah, for me, it's the key ones that I remember. I actually don't really remember much about the in between ones. Like, I do remember my ninth birthday. I don't know why, but that one just kind of sticks out to me. But most of my birthdays, yeah, I don't really remember them all that much growing up. So,
Well, I don't remember my ninth, 10th, 11th. I don't remember my 12th.
I have very vague memories of my 11th birthday. Very vague. I don't remember my 12th birthday at all. Mm,
Like I remember, I know I probably got. I know there was toys that I can remember having that was most likely part of my birthdays,
yeah,
but I don't actually remember the birthdays opening them or what cake I had or what if there was a theme. I
yeah.
don't think. I think after my eighth birthday, I didn't really have a themed birthday.
Honestly, after I turned 10 and 11, most of my birthday cakes for many years were Dragon Ball Z cakes. That's what I had almost every year. Every year, my mom would ask me, "What kind of cake do you want?" A Dragon Ball Z cake. Dragon Ball Z cake. So,
Yeah,
most
my
likely,
mom
if I could
didn't.
take a wild guess, most likely that's probably what kind of cake it was for one of those. Dragon Ball Z cake.
Well, because like I didn't really actually have Dragon Ball Z toys because for some reason Dragon Ball Z toys were so expensive compared to other toys. It seemed like.
Well, the ones I've got were usually what the Walmart ones, and they weren't really that bad. That back in the day. So now I'm not sure about other stores, but yeah, the ones at Walmart weren't really that bad.
Hmm.
Which is where I bought most of my action figures. So was usually at Walmart.
Yeah.
Even the non Dragon Ball Z ones I bought there.
I remember having the cheap like ninja toys from Dollar General at one point.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I bought many toys from like the Dollar Tree where they the only like the doll. Sometimes the Dollar Tree had some actually a decent selection of toys, and I go in there with just like $1 and buy like or a few bucks and buy like some toys.
Yeah, I had the old cheap ninjas. They were the really cheap plastic, only their arms moved
Yeah.
and their heads. But they'd have so many weapons. They were that weird flimsy plastic.
Yeah.
It was great. But God, do not throw those toys. They broke so easily.
Oh yeah. Oh, I broke so many toys when I was a kid because I was did not take care of my toys very well because I was way too rough with them.
Yeah, I wasn't that rough with them because I knew you didn't
Yeah.
have to be.
My sister, yeah, she was very gentle with her toys, and hers always lasted. They still looked like years later when we were teenagers. Hers still looked like they just came out of the dang package because she took so good care of them. Not mine. Mine looked horrible.
A couple of mine got broken, and it's because some of them were because I didn't pay attention one day and I accidentally stepped on one or something.
Yeah.
But I want to say ahead of time, sorry to all the listeners. This is going to be the shortest one. I'm for some reason got a hell of a migraine this episode.
You want me to pray for you?
Don't make me laugh. Ow. Oh. Yeah, I hate migraines.
Oh yeah, me too. I can deal with a lot of different pains in my body, but migraines is one of the ones I headaches and migraines. Yeah, I never handle those very well. So I turn in. I'll straight up admit it. I turn into a big baby when I get them. I'm like, oh, I can't stand them.
Yeah, I mean, I can push through them if I need to.
Yeah. Well, sometimes you have no choice. It's not like I can be like, all right, where's the genie at? Let me get rid of this headache.
I wish, but you got any closing convo?
Yeah, I've been dying to do an episode where we talk about pigeons. So I wanted to talk about that a minute.
Yeah.
Just
Yeah.
wanted to describe them in every way. And honestly, I think I'm in love and
Okay, people, like, comment, subscribe on YouTube. Follow us on Spotify and visit Instagram. I'm gonna leave my podcast mate to imagine himself with pigeons, I guess.
I wonder if that's a real thing, like pigeon adult themed videos.
Oh God, no. Don't
Brother, ooh.
because bro, I have a bad tendency of looking up the stupid shit that people think like that. I'm no, don't even say it.
I probably shouldn't even have made a comment like that because some people get really ticked off if you talk about any kind of zoology type stuff like that. So,
Yeah.
so maybe I should edit that part out. But
No, you gotta leave it. You gotta leave it. You gotta leave it.
all right, I'll leave it in. But just let people know I am just joking. I don't. Obviously, I don't get turned on by pigeons. So,
I'd hope not.
yeah. But
But
anyway, yeah. Hope you enjoyed the episode. I was too busy laughing. I'm not sure what all Eric shouted out on the show notes, but yeah, I'm sure you got everything.
I just follow us on Spotify and Instagram and like, comment, subscribe on YouTube. All right, everyone. Y'all have a good one. Bye.